Hey, everybody. Welcome to Purpose Lab with Marlon Vickers. Welcome to my podcast. This is the podcast where purpose meets leadership, leadership, growth, faith, culture, and real conversations that impact everybody's life. So, guess what? Today's episode is going to be the one that affects everyone. Why? Because it's talking about the housing market. Whether you're renting, buying, investing, struggling financially, or simply trying to build a better future for your family. And the housing market has become one of the biggest emotional and financial conversations in America. But beyond the numbers and the interest rates, what is it doing for the people, mentally, emotional, and spiritual? So let's talk about it. Hey, I got my one of my favorite guests on today, this realtor Jackie. She's gonna introduce herself. She's gonna tell you a little bit about herself, and then we're gonna jump into this podcast. It's amazing. We're gonna be talking about the housing market if you don't already know. Hey, welcome Jackie on, everybody.
Thank you, thank you. So I'm
Well,
Jackie Johnson. Oh, I'm so sorry.
no,
Look
you
at me
fine. Go
trying to
ahead.
go in. I'm Jackie Johnson. I'm a realtor with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Showcase Properties right here in Dothan. I've been doing this for over 8 years now. So
Oh
this
yeah,
has, yes, this
I
has,
didn't know
this,
that.
yes, yes, yes.
All right, so she's been doing it for 8 years, so she knows what she's talking about. So the first thing we want to get into is what is really driving today's housing market. What is really driving the market today?
Well, it's like with anything else, people need some place to live. I
Right.
mean, there's going to be changes. Life changes all the time. I don't care if you're still living, there's going to be some changes in your life. So
Yeah,
that's what's driving it. It's the demand.
I got you. So what mistakes first time homeowners make in the market today? What are some of the mistakes you think that they make?
I think one of the major things is trying to go through this process without knowing like what to do in the process. So that's
Right.
why it's good to talk with a real estate agent so that you can know exactly what's going on. You don't want to find a house, fall in love, and then you're not pre-approved, you haven't talked to a
Yeah.
lender, all the things.
So kind of walk us through like what are the stages of, when you get ready to buy a house, what are the steps that we need to know about?
So it really depends on where you are. So everybody's steps may start someplace else depending on
Yeah.
where you are. But I like to start potential home buyers with a buyer's consultation.
Uh-huh.
So in this consultation, you're going to learn about the steps. You're going to learn about um, what we're supposed to do in the process. Talking to lenders, which steps go first. It's nothing like going through a process and going at the end, like starting at the end of the process without
Yeah.
knowing all the steps in the beginning.
Right.
So, buyer's consultation, find you a good real estate agent who's going to
Like you.
represent you. Of course, like me. Find you a good real estate agent. Find you a good lender. Your
Yeah.
lender and your real estate agent, they're going to be with you from the very beginning to the end of the process. Then you wanna get pre-approved. You wanna know your numbers. That's one of the major mistakes. People don't know their numbers. Nothing like finding a house at 250 and you find that you're pre-approved for 200.
Yeah.
That could be a problem, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's
Yes,
that's
that
a
could be
big problem because you
that could be a
$50,000
big
short
problem.
of what you need.
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. So now you gotta figure out it's still doable, but now you gotta figure out, do I wanna finance, bring more cash to the table? Like,
yeah,
there's some questions. And then afterwards, once you have your numbers, then you can kind of move confidently. Knowing your numbers, you can find that house. We can start searching for that house
right.
in the price range that's comfortable for you. And I just want to say this, in the process of finding what's comfortable for you, the lender is going to pre-approve you for this amount.
Mhm.
But they don't know that you're paying daycare fees. They don't know how much gas you're
Right.
paying
Yeah,
every week.
yeah, I'm
They
following you.
don't know all the extra stuff. So
Yeah,
just know that number, may not be your number. That might not be your sweet spot. So we got to talk about that. And that's what we talk about in the buyer's consultation.
That's good stuff. So, is it a good time now to buy a house or should we wait? What do you think?
Al Always depends on the person. So
Uh,
if you're ready, Imma tell you, there's been people that have sat on the fence,
yeah.
and they're looking for interest rates to go down, and those
That's the
interest
key.
rates are going
Yeah, everybody look
higher.
yeah, yeah.
Yes. So, if you still need a house, it's like going to the grocery store. Prices are higher, right?
Right.
Inflation is inflation.
That's it. It's inflation
And
is doing its thing.
yes, it's doing its thing, but are you gonna stop eating?
No.
You got gas, the gas prices are extremely high. Are
And we
you gonna
still
stop
buying
driving?
gas.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah,
So you just gotta budget for the times.
yeah.
It may be a right time for one person, it may not be a right time for another. And that's what we talk about from the very beginning. So I'm not wasting your time, you're not wasting my time. We kinda know where we're trying to go. What's the goal? What's the
So what are
vision?
the interest rates right now? I haven't looked lately.
So we're in the high sixes,
Ooh,
going into the sevens.
I thought we was going down.
We dipped down for shortly, and those people that were on the fence probably didn't jump off that fence at that time. But just know that if you talk to anybody that bought houses like way back when, they said the interest rates were like 14, 15, 16,
Yeah,
17,
yeah.
18%. So it's still pretty reasonable, even though they're not COVID interest rates,
That was a good rate. Yeah.
pandemic interest rates, but
Yeah, I remember
it's
them.
still doable.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's good stuff. So, why is it why is home ownership still considered a wealth building, tool?
Because over time, it builds equity. That's your legacy. That's something that you can leave to your children, leave to
Right.
your grandkids. I mean, it's something tangible that you have
Yeah,
that can build wealth for you. And renting, unfortunately, which renting can be good for somebody, but it's not going to build anything. You're building the person that you're renting from.
right.
Like you're building their legacy.
Yeah, that's and unfortunately, we have so much, so many people can't really afford to jump out off the bridge, like you said,
Yeah.
and buy because the numbers and then the credit score is not, not the best. So they really stuck between a rock and a hard place, and everything is so expensive right now. So, like you said, it's even you gonna buy or you gonna wait, and then the interest rate's gonna keep going up. They're not going down. So eventually, you gonna wait till it's too high. You know.
Yeah, yeah. And
So
that's going to be a personal thing that you have to ask yourself. I always tell buyers that are thinking about purchasing a house, do not be pushed into this when you're not ready,
yeah,
because
and
because that's the worst.
I see a lot of people, they buy houses now and they keep them for probably about 5 years and then they turn around and sell them, and that's kind of like I guess that would
Yeah.
be like a wealth building thing because they stay in it for a few years and they turn around, sell it, and then they get another
Mhm.
house. They stay in it for a couple of years and then they
Mhm.
build one and they sell that one, and it's just
That's right.
yeah.
It's
So
continuous.
yeah, they're not really
Yeah.
staying there, for a couple of years, and then they turn around, and sell it, and buy them another one.
But you think
So
about the market now, 5 years ago, you purchased this house at this price and it's probably worth more now. Most
yeah,
likely it's worth
yeah,
more now. So
yeah,
you have that equity to buy something else,
yeah.
and it's just continuous.
So what are the hidden costs of owning a home people don't really talk about,
Talk
or
about
is it any?
repair. I mean, it's not hidden if you have a good real estate agent
There
like
you go. That's what
myself.
see.
So, just shameless plug there.
Yeah,
But you want somebody to say, okay, you're purchasing this house, but here are these post-purchase fees.
yeah,
You may go into your house, your AC is working just fine. 2 years later, it might break, and you might need to have that money to get a new HVAC system. You may not have a brand new roof.
yeah,
We've been having all these storms and bad weather.
yeah,
You better have some money in the pot just in case, because that's your home. You want to invest in something that you connected to. I'll
Right.
pay for some stuff if it's mine.
Correct. And that's one thing I've learned too, when you own a house, you gotta have,
Mhm,
like you said, some money put aside for
mhm.
home thing for damages that may happen because a lot of times, we don't think about that, when we're going to buy a
Yeah.
home, you don't have no money put up, and then stuff happens and then you gotta pay for it because it's your house. So
Yes, it's your house.
so how does financial stress from housing affect mental health? What do you think?
Man, now be stressed about anything. It's gonna affect your mental, it's gonna affect your reaction. You're gonna be more reactive,
Yeah,
basically, like in a negative way. You just won't think
yeah.
too much because your mind is just on the problem. The problem is I got this house now, or it's costing me too much. I gotta pay taxes. I gotta pay this. I gotta pay all of that.
Talk
That's why
about
you
that.
want.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm telling. And then if you think about it, you think about purchasing a house. Like I was saying earlier, your lender says, you know what, I can loan you 300,000. You decide you 300,000 ain't your comfort spot, but you decide to find a house at 300,000.
Mm.
Now you at the top of your budget. Like you ain't got like forget that all your trips, you take them in your house. Man, you want to eat out, you better go into one of them rooms and make it
Right.
into a Chinese restaurant
That's
cuz you
it.
going to spend all your time
Yeah.
in that house because you can't afford to go no place
Yeah.
else.
Yeah.
That's stressful, and
Yeah.
everybody around you is gonna feel the stress too.
Yeah, because a lot of times, people don't they wanna live with the Joneses and not kinda live where they wanna,
Mhm.
where they can
You
be
better le
comfortable.
you better leave those Joneses alone. You better leave because you don't know what the Joneses had to do to get where they are,
Thank
and
you.
they're yes, you don't know, and you don't know the conversations that they have, like, "Why in the world we got this big old house and
Yeah.
it's only 2 of us in here?" I mean, I'm
Yeah.
just saying. I'm
So
just saying.
what is I know I've seen they have, different advertising about closing costs, do certain banks, give closing costs or.
Well, I can say this. There are some lenders that have like in-house programs. I can speak on and they're not in-house programs that last for a long time. They have grant money sometimes
Yeah.
and when it runs out, then it's out. So buyers got to get on it. And
Mhm.
it's always good to have somebody in the know that knows those lenders and those lenders
Facts.
are connecting to you
Yeah.
to tell you. I just helped a buyer. I mean, it's been 3 years. She had my car for 3 years
Sitting on it.
and just sitting on it. But
My
I mean,
God.
she had that card, but she wasn't ready at that time. She had some
Yeah.
credit issues, she had some things,
Yeah.
but she called me back because we had talked about the things that was necessary for her to do. And she
Mhm.
did it. And I found her a lender. This lender that we connect with, she told me, I have this grant program. It's this amount of money. Your buyer can get $13,000.
Wow.
$13,000 to use
Wow.
towards closing costs
That's
or
awesome.
prepays or any of that stuff, and you don't have to pay it back.
Yeah.
Man, not always a grant available. But
Yeah.
when you hear about something, that's the whole point of having like a relationship with those other real estate professionals. Because we're trying to work on behalf of our client.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying, it just all depends on, who your realtor is, and you wanna have a good relationship with that person so they will tell you all the hidden things that most people won't tell you, you
That's
know?
right.
'Cause some people, they just in it to make
To get
money.
that money.
They're
That's
not
right.
in it to try to help people.
And
So
I'm glad you brought that up because all real estate agents aren't alike. So the
yeah, you
experience,
better say that.
yeah, and the
Yeah.
experience you get with one may be totally different from the
Yeah.
other. So it just depends, and that's what you have. One of the things about just back to the buyer's consultation, we may get to a point we talk about the goals and that person may not want to work with me because I work a certain way. I don't want to show you all kind of different houses and you don't know your numbers. Like,
Yeah.
that's a waste of my time, and that's gonna
Your
put you
time.
in a
Yeah.
bad situation.
Yeah.
That's gonna put the buyer in a bad situation. They're gonna fall in love with the house, and then they're gonna come back to me being mad at me because I showed it
Yeah.
to them, and they don't know their numbers.
And that brings me right to the next question is why do so many
Mhm.
people feel discouraged about buying a home today? Why do you think?
Um, well, so everybody can't afford the 400, 500, $600,000 homes. There's plenty of those on the market right now. But affordable housing, it's not a lot. And it's a demand for it. You
Yeah.
know, you have builders, they're building all kind of homes, but they're in a price range that's unreachable for some buyers,
Yeah.
especially a first time home. It just
Yeah.
costs too much, and it can get discouraging. But I think the other discouraging thing is to start the process and not know. I mean, if you know ahead of time, you either won't get in it or you'll wait or you'll get in it, but you'll know why you're
Yeah.
getting in it.
So what is some like first time home owner like what kind of uh promotions that they have for first time home owners? You know, I think sometimes they have some kind of benefits or some kind of discounts or something for first time homeowners.
Well, so there's several programs and several different kind of loans. It just depends on what you like, who you are, um,
Uh-huh.
maybe what your career is. They have some for teachers, they have some for military families. They have some special programs for doctors and nurses in the medical field. So it really depends on what those banks or mortgage companies are running at that time.
Right.
As far as loans, you're always going to get four types of loans, at least those, and that's your FHA, which is 3.5% down.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can get some help with that and go with a step up program. That's another program that can help with like the down payment part of it. Conventional loan, 5%. One of the myths is you gotta have 20%, at least 20%, but you really only have to have 3.5% or 5%, depending on the loan. And then if you wanna live in a rural area, like
Mhm.
out in the country,
Yeah.
0% down, 0 down. And
I did
VA
not know
loans,
that.
military, 0 down. So that's the down payment. That doesn't include like closing costs and prepaids and all that. And prepaids is home insurance and taxes that's included in your mortgage payment.
Yeah. Yeah, cause I had a conventional loan on my house
Okay.
when but I
Okay.
sold it. Yeah, that's what I had at first was a conventional loan. I sold my house. I sold it during COVID time, you know that
You did good. You
I
said
did.
you said, "I'm getting ready. I'm about to get some money on it."
Listen, man, listen. My they came and appraised the house and I was like,
Yes.
"Look," I said, "This is getting ready to be a money wealth building situation right here." I said,
Yes.
"This is what I paid for it." I said, and I sold it for like double what I paid for it.
Jeez, you did
And
good.
yeah, when they yeah,
That's what you do. But you look at the market.
yeah,
If you didn't know that that was the time for sellers to sell their
yeah,
house,
yeah,
you would have never made that. Because
yeah,
this right now is it's kinda like a buyer's market. I
yeah,
mean, there's more homes on the well, I should say it's balanced. There's more homes on the market, but still there's a demand for more homes. Where we ain't quite got there where it's just like, not many homes on the market where there's gonna be all kind of bidding wars like in the seller's market in the
yeah,
pandemic. This buyer's balanced market, there's more homes, but more affordable homes, we still need those.
yeah. Kinda explain the seller's market and the buyer's market because everybody don't know what that is.
Yeah, seller's market is when so think about the pandemic, there was not a lot of homes on the market. There was
Yeah,
plenty
yeah,
of buyers. That's why you had the bidding war.
yeah,
So when you're searching like on Zillow, Realtor.com, and you don't hardly see any homes on the market to even look at. Right now, I've been showing like 10, 15 homes and sometimes in a week. So that
mm,
means the market is turning into that buyer's market, a strong one. It's not yet there because it's just rising. We don't have a 6 month supply yet, but we're getting there.
yeah.
So that's the difference. A little inventory, seller's market. Lots of inventory,
A
buyer's
buyer's
market.
market.
And yes, and the transition in between is balanced.
Yeah. So this is a good question because I've seen people do this before. How do families manage that anxiety during home buying process? Cause you waiting on, trying to see, first of all, to see if you even gonna get available money to even buy the house. Like you said, the first thing is to see what's available,
Mhm.
your credit score. Then once you get your credit score and the bank say, well, I'm gonna get you $100,000 house. And then I gotta call a realtor now. So I gotta call realtor Jackie to see if she can find me a house. And then you go through
Mhm.
that whole process. So, you know, what's the anxiety? Even for you, you may go through that too as a realtor because you trying to sell a house and you got the homeowner trying to buy a house. So what kind of how do y'all handle the anxiety on both sides?
Open communication, being as transparent as possible.
Yeah.
It's going to be a roller coaster because I always say to clients, okay, so you've gotten pre-approved. That's a celebration, but we can't stop there. Like
Yeah.
celebrate, but don't stop here. Now we gotta go to the next step. And the anxiety, like you said, you gave a good example. $100,000 home is hard to find in this market now.
Yeah.
It's hard. So that's an anxiety because now you're pre-approved and now we're looking for a house, and then your pre-approval is only good for like 90 days in
Right.
most cases.
Yeah.
And now, if you don't find a house, then they're gonna pull your credit again. So
Yeah. And it's going, yeah.
it's a lot of communication. It's nothing like going through a process and then no one says anything. Like it's quiet. Like you don't know what you should be doing at this point. You don't know like what's going on at this point. But me communicating with the client, look, there's not a lot of houses on the market in this price range,
Yeah.
but we're gonna keep on looking. We're not gonna get I'm setting up alerts so they can see what houses pop on the market so we can go see them immediately.
Yeah.
And I always tell them, be ready. Like, don't be at home talking about, yeah, I think I wanna rest.
Uh,
You already know there's not a lot of homes
right.
out there.
So when you made that
We got it. I need you to go to sleep with your tennis shoes on. Be ready.
that's funny. Uh, uh, hey, they in the bed, they see you call, they be like, "Oh, it's
Yeah,
time
that's
to
right.
go."
That's right. Get up, get up, get up. I don't want to hear nothing. Bring your coffee. Bring the kids
Every
with you.
Yeah, bring everybody, it's time to
Yeah,
go.
it's time to go.
So what advice would you give someone now that's feeling hopeless about owning a home?
Well, I want to know why they're feeling hopeless. Are they feeling hopeless because they're trying to get their credit together, or they can't find what they want? I feel like if it's your time, one thing I do with my clients, I don't know what other real estate agents do, but I
We
am a
ain't worry about
believer.
them. We was
We
worried
ain't
about
worried
yours.
about that. I don't know what they do, but I'm a
We
believer,
talking about yours.
and Imma tell you, I say a prayer, and I always know that I say a prayer with my clients,
Yeah.
and I always know those people assigned to me. Those people that ain't assigned to me, I let the
Listen,
prayer says, "Let them walk."
listen,
I'm
stay
okay
right there
with
for
them
a
walking.
second. Don't move yet because you said something then. You said those people are assigned to you.
Yes. Yes, if they're not assigned to me.
Listen, that's a
Yes.
good word right there because that means a whole lot
Mm.
when you said they are assigned to you. That means
Yes.
that you gonna do whatever you can to make sure they
Yes.
get what they need, and you gonna walk them
Yes.
through that process, and God's gonna
Yes.
be with y'all while that's listen.
Yes. Yes.
Go
I'm
ahead. I'm
telling
sorry,
you.
but I couldn't let that
No,
opportunity go by.
it's true. I just, the prayer works all kind of ways. And my prayer is like those people that are assigned to me, let me be able to help them. And they're assigned to me and I'm assigned to them. But those people that are not assigned to me, let them walk. And it's okay. Cause
And
I'm still
listen,
gonna be clapping for them when they buy their
yeah,
house with another agent. I'm be happy for them.
yeah,
They weren't my assignment.
right. That's listen, and that's we talking about the housing, but that's ministry too because
Yeah, it is a
we are
ministry.
assigned to certain people, and you're gonna connect with certain people because God bring into your life the
Yes,
people that you are connected to, even in the housing
that's
market.
right.
God know who who he needs to send your way so that you can help him out. They've
That's
been,
exactly right.
and I know you've had where people have tried to buy houses from different, realtors and stuff wasn't going right, but
Yep,
they came knocking on your door and you
that's right.
just, God sent them your way and you just
That's
open
right.
that door and you help them get what they need.
That's exactly right. It is a ministry.
Yeah.
Although it's what I do, but it's a ministry because you're dealing with people, you're dealing with their money, you're dealing with their mindset, you're dealing with their emotion, you're dealing with their families. I'm
Yeah.
walking with people for 45 days at least, more than that if we're showing homes, but I'm at least like 3 months
Yeah.
showing homes, then get under contract, then go through the home inspection, appraisal, and all that stuff. I'm their friend all the way into the end. And so
Yeah.
that's why I have a lot of clients that we still connect even after they've purchased their house. And that's what I want.
Yeah.
Cause it's relationship over transaction, always.
Well, let's just stay right there where you at. How can churches and community leaders support the housing education? What can we do as a community, even as a church, to help, with the education part? Because we know that our community, we don't really know about the housing market.
I think we should open up the doors more often to educate
Yeah.
as much as possible. Even those people that are renting right now or they're living with their parents or whatever wherever stage they are, to always constantly educate because the market is always changing and life changes.
Yeah.
So me just talking to lenders and home inspectors and appraisers and attorneys, all people that's entourage for that particular client.
Yeah.
And so and people get a chance to ask their questions. It's you don't have to have it's a no judgment zone to ask your questions and get your answer. No question is like, oh, that's a dumb question. Well, why you didn't know that?
Yeah.
I mean, but the one thing about community, I wish that we were in a place where we could go back to community, kind of how it was when if you didn't eat, then
I didn't.
if I'm
Yeah.
eating, you eat.
Yeah.
If
I'm with
you
you.
ain't got
Yeah.
a house, then you got a house with me. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's a trust factor now. So that's why we have to use our discernment because a lot of times we miss the opportunity to help people. We have plenty of space. The people have plenty of room in their house,
Yeah.
you know, or, even for a temporary time. Let me teach you how to fish. Let me teach you how to buy a house. Let me teach you about your credit. Let me teach you about, saving money. I always say, even if you're not ready now, it may not be right now, but it could be in the future. And you're gonna want your whole life to change. You want it to be different. And where you are now is not like it doesn't define you right now. You know
Mm,
what I mean? So I
yeah.
mean,
That's good.
yeah,
That's good. Don't define you right now, man.
it doesn't. It doesn't
Yeah.
define you right now.
Yeah. That's good.
I think the one tip that I would just leave with anybody, even a seller, buyer, doesn't matter to whoever. Sometimes you have to say no right now so you can say yes to your future.
Mm,
And instead of buying the car, instead of getting your income tax, getting shoes and taking this trip and doing whatever, you might want to save that money so that you can get the house for you and your family that you've been wanting. You've been talking about it,
yeah.
but you ain't been walking it.
Mm. You giving closing remarks already. We ain't got there yet. I like that. That's
I
a
ain't trying to close. I ain't
I
trying to
know that
close.
was a
I was just thinking. I was just
I
thinking,
was like,
man.
wow. I'm like, we don't hold that a little while. We get
I just think about every family that if they have children and they get a certain amount of income tax, and I know they got to pay some bills and do this and
Yeah.
that, but if you just put some stuff
Put
on the
put it
side,
back.
so
Yeah.
even if it's not year one, year two, year three, you saving up for what
Yeah.
you want.
Yeah.
So you got to say no to yourself sometime. You
N
can't have everything.
Not everything. Yeah.
You can't have everything.
So why is affordable housing such a major issue right now? What Why do you think so?
Just it's not much it's not many homes out there that's affordable.
Yeah.
That's the main problem. And it costs so much for materials based on what the builders are saying. They build these houses, the prices are gonna be jacked up. So it's not many affordable homes. And then if you find an affordable home in your price range, you gotta have money to kind of fix it up to make it your own. It's
Yeah.
not gonna be not normally it's not gonna be moving ready. You're gonna have to change some things and pay for some things. You talking about windows, probably AC unit, plumbing, a roof, all the things that cost a lot of money. So buying a house may not even be the main issue. Like keeping up with the house, like making it move in ready. You almost gotta go in with money.
Yeah. You really do because especially if you're not buying a house that's a brand new house that you getting
Hmm.
built, but if you buying a house like an older house, yeah, you gotta have money because like you said, you don't know what's gonna be
You don't
need to
know.
be done because you gotta get certain things done before you even can close on the house, you know?
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Yeah, and
Because
a lot of times it's cosmetics, but if it's only cosmetic, you can kind of deal with that.
yeah.
But when it's like major things, if it's an older house and they haven't like changed out some things or bought some new things or renovated or whatever, then you definitely gonna have to have some money going in. However, you have that money, you save up that money,
Yeah.
then you're gonna, you know, it's gonna be worth something. You're gonna build the value in it.
I was gonna ask you this one, but I think we already talked about this one, is what habits, help people become financially ready for home ownership? But I think we kinda just talked about that, about
Yeah, we did.
saying no to, some things.
Yeah, saying no to monitoring your credit.
Yeah, and I do
Like,
that, I
yeah,
actually do that, because they do have sites where you can go and they don't it don't hurt your credit to look at it. I mean, it's free. It don't ding your
yes,
credit
yes,
score, it keeps it
right.
going, but I've learned, different, housing well, I just said housing lenders or banks, they use different, credit score agencies. They don't all use the same ones. It's so
Mhm.
many. I didn't know it was that many out there. I thought it was just the basic
The
ones that they
3?
use. Yeah.
Yeah, well, with lenders, so once you um do your application and go through the pre-approval process, they're gonna take the third number. Like it's not them, but it's going into the system, and the system is
Yeah.
gonna take the third number. So you might first number might be 700, middle number might be I shouldn't say the third number, the middle number. First number might be 700, middle number might be 650, last number might be 632. The system is gonna check. It's gonna deem the 650. That's the one it's going to use. And so that's why you want to monitor all three.
Right.
Equifax, and TransUnion are the
Yeah.
major ones. There are other ones, but those
Yeah.
are the major ones. And then saving. You know what your goal is. Save your money.
What's a good credit score for a house? Because I've seen some mortgage companies, they'll do your house at 550, but the
Yeah,
interest rate gonna be
that's the key. That's the key. I mean, yeah, that's the key. That's almost like when you get a credit card and they give you this amount of money, and then if you pay your payment late or whatever, you're gonna have a high interest rate. So I mean, it could be worth it to you if that's all you have at that point. And later on, that kind of monitor it, like with your lender, monitor
Mhm.
those interest rates. Maybe you can get a lower interest rate. But I always say this. They always, people say like marry the house, not the interest rate. But I don't say that because you don't
I
know what the
never
interest
heard
rate
that.
gonna be. Yes, people say that. It's like I've heard other people in the field, they'll say, "Yeah, marry the house, not the interest rate," because they say you can refinance.
Uh,
But 6 months from now, it may be higher. So you
yeah,
still gonna be stuck with that interest rate. You just gotta if the interest rate or that mortgage payment is good for you and it's comfortable for you,
hit
don't
the
worry
go
about the
button.
interest
Yeah.
rate. Yes, don't worry about that.
That's what my dad told me before. I was getting ready to buy a house and I was like, "The interest rate too high." He was like, "Just buy the house now." and you can always go and refinance it when the interest rate drop down. I was like,
Yeah, sometimes the interest rate, I don't know when it's gonna drop. It
yeah.
may sometime, but no one has a crystal ball to say when it's gonna drop. So now you into this house that's too high. That's why you gotta go in comfortable.
I mean, it's if it's at 6 or 7, I mean, that's it's high, but it ain't really high because I mean, I've
Yeah.
seen it higher. I've seen it higher than that,
Yes.
but I don't know.
Yep.
I guess like you said, it depends on the person. It depends on your finances and what you can afford.
Yes. And it
Because
depends on your need.
yeah,
Yeah. If you need a house right there, I mean, like let's start from the mortgage payment. If the mortgage payment is comfortable for you, then you're gonna be okay.
yeah.
But if your mortgage payment is already like, I don't know if I can afford that, let's look at something lower. Let's
Yeah.
look at something lower.
Yeah, let's not try to,
Let's
break the
not
bank
not
right now.
man. I'm telling you, you're gonna be
That's when that
taking
stress level be, like, way up there then. Yeah.
you can't take your kids nowhere. No
Nowhere.
Disney, no Disneyland for you. You had to put toys in the tub. And that's it. That's that's go-
You gonna eat at McDonald's every day,
I'm
Burger
telling you.
King.
I'm telling you. I'm talking about a dollar. They don't even have a dollar menu no more. So it's expensive.
So, as we get ready to get out of here, I got a couple more things we're gonna talk about. What is one thing you wish every family understood about the housing market?
I wish everyone understood that regardless of the market,
Uh-huh.
you make your choice based on your need. That's it. Based on you get in it when you feel like it's comfortable for you to get in it. Don't have husband, mom, dad, nobody pressure you.
Yeah.
The market is ever changing. You're gonna have a buyer's market, seller's market. Then you're gonna have a seller's market, buyer's market. It's gonna be ever changing.
Mm.
But get you a real estate agent who can tell you, okay, we're in this market. It's a good time to buy or it's a good time to sell. Either or.
Don't say get you a good real estate. Say get yours. What's
I
tell
mean,
them
I assume that everyone understands that Jackie Johnson with Berkshire Hathaway Home
listen.
Services showcase properties.
Thank you.
I
Drop
assume that
that in there.
everybody now I'm dropping it. I'm dropping it because
Sometimes you got to lead people down that hallway because they don't understand. But you just got to say,
oh,
hey, come see me if you need a
come
house.
see
I
me.
got you.
Yeah,
So,
come
what
see
gives
me.
you hope about the future of the housing market? You've been in it eight
I
years now.
know. Yeah, I know that everyone there's gonna be a need for housing. That's period. There's gonna be a need for housing.
Yeah.
And the prices are gonna change, the interest rates are gonna change, but the need is gonna be there. So I'm here to help when people have that need.
Now, this is a good question here. What
Mhm.
advice would you give your younger self about money and home ownership?
S Start young.
Eh,
I would have loved I didn't grow up in a household where we talked about real estate.
yeah,
We didn't talk about saving and all of that stuff. It was like
yeah,
work, 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 work. If you can get a
yep,
job, work, work, work. And if, go to school, go to work, go to school, go to work.
yep.
And if I would have known what I know now, um, I think I would be in a better place. Just with knowledge, and I could have taught my kids better. You know what I'm saying? Because
Oh yeah,
they
yeah,
learned a little bit later on, but it wasn't a household thing. I didn't get it, and I didn't give it. But it's an opportunity for us to share with others, especially young people
yeah.
that you in schools. I mean, start young. Don't start you don't have to worry about trying to purchase a house right now, but you can know what the
Saving,
steps
yeah,
are. Yeah, you can know how to save you can look at
yeah.
you can know how your credit card works. You can know how to um read a bank statement. All the things
What you
that
said, yeah.
matter. Yes, what about W-2s? Most people have their W-2s, they don't know. They just
Damn,
know they
yeah.
got automatic direct deposit, and they don't know what's on that. They don't know what taxes they don't know. I mean, and they don't.
It's
And
true, but they don't.
it's true. They don't know. And so, you wanna make sure that you know your numbers, You know what's going on with you. Like, don't let somebody tell you what's going on with you.
Yeah. You
You
know.
know.
You know.
Yes.
Yeah. So what does financial peace look like to you?
Man, not having to worry about nothing. Yeah, I not worrying about anything. You're gonna have concerns in this life. You're gonna
Oh,
have
yeah.
concerns,
Oh,
not
yeah.
worries.
Yeah.
But
There's a
you're gonna
difference.
have yes, you're gonna have concerns. First of all, I'm a believer, like, I'll keep on saying that, and so
Yeah.
that's what gives me peace of mind.
Oh,
Peace of
yeah.
mind comes from within. I can't there's no class, there's no training that I can take to get that.
No, you can't get yeah,
Right?
that's
Yeah.
something you gotta experience.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
can't give you that, yeah.
So Imma
That peace.
testify
Yeah,
that I
test
got
yeah.
peace.
Yeah. Yeah,
And so
peace.
that's what peace looks like. Yeah, you got bills, you got all the things like we learned in our 100 women with in hats today.
Today?
It's like
Yeah.
we wear a lot of hats, but when you put on God's that crown
Come
over
on.
all of that stuff,
Oh, yeah.
yes, Miss Tanya, she spoke, she did good. But yeah, yeah, that's what peace looks like when you know that um you can take care of yourself without somebody else taking care of you.
Yeah. Yeah, peace is I can be in the middle of a
All the
stormy
things.
situation,
Yeah.
and I'm not even worried about it. Cause
Yeah.
you sometimes you see the birds, they flying around and they in the midst of a storm, but they not worried about it. They go sit down and take care of what need to
They
be
ain't
taken
worried.
care of.
Ain't worried about a
They ain't
thing.
worried about nothing.
Ain't worried about nothing. And that you can't purchase. I
No,
don't care.
no,
You can't purchase that.
no.
So
That's
yeah.
something you just gotta experience and know. So how
Yes.
can people stay focused on purpose while facing financial pressure?
Keep the purpose in front of you.
This
Keep
is
that
the
in front
Purpose
of you.
Lab, so we gotta talk about
Yes.
purpose a little bit.
Yes. Yes, you gotta keep your what is your purpose for purchasing this house? What is your purpose for going through this process? When you keep that and you can answer that
Mm,
clearly, then you know that we can get through this from the beginning to the end. That's
that's
what purpose is to me.
that's good. So as we get ready to get out of here, what's your give us some closing remarks and some closing statements that you would give us on the housing market. This is your time now to drop them good statements in there.
Well, y'all heard all the good statements.
Uh,
I want everyone to understand that when people ask the question, is it the right time to purchase? Yes, it's the right time if the right time is your time.
yeah,
So that's what you gotta understand is I can help you through a process, but if it's not your time, then
yeah,
we probably won't get through the process successfully. So I'm gonna keep my purpose as your agent. They're gonna keep their purpose as my client, and we're gonna walk through this hand in hand from the beginning to the end. Always keep the end in mind.
yeah.
Keep it, you know what I mean?
I know what you
You start
mean.
from a beginning and
Yeah,
keep the end in mind.
yeah. So listen, y'all, if y'all in the surrounding areas, those then where all do y'all sell at? How's it before I say that?
So I'm licensed in Alabama, and I have other agents outside like Mobile, Huntsville. Those I'm gonna refer out to agents to help me with that.
Yeah,
But as far as my location, Wiregrass area, Headland, Enterprise, Newton, Eufaula, Enterprise, Headland. Oh, I said Headland already. Dothan, of course.
yeah.
Just the surrounding areas, Newton,
Surrounding areas, okay.
Ashford. Yes, Webb.
So if y'all looking for a house in the Wiregrass area, go see Realtor Jackie Johnson. She's gonna take care of you. Uh, you've heard it today. She, she's passionate about it. She's gonna take care of everything that you need. She's gonna walk you through it. She's a God fearing woman. So hey, if you need a house and you looking for a house, even if you're trying to sell a house and you need her to help you sell a house, you do that too, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So if
Of
you're looking to
course.
even
Of
sell
course.
your house, guess what? She can help you sell your house and help you buy a new house once you sold the other house, and then you got money to put down on a new house. See?
Look at you. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So hey, at the end of the day, a house is important, but peace matters the most. Wealth
Mhm.
matters, but wellness matters too. The goal is not to just survive financially, it is to build a life rooted in purpose, wisdom, stability, and legacy. Hey, you watching the Purpose Lab. Thank you for being in here with us today as we talked about the housing market. This is the place where lives are changed, purpose is discovered, and we give you everything that you need. Hey, catch us on the next episode. Hey, go to Spotify, go to iHeartRadio, go to Apple Podcasts, on YouTube, and we're called the Purpose Lab. Make sure you follow on all of those platforms so whenever my videos drop, whenever we go live in the lab, you can catch us. See you on the next episode. Peace.